I think Canowindra as a place crafted a connection with the Australian bush that I didn't have, and I didn't realise that it was made until I moved away. Anyway, do we begin?
Are we ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so my name is Moon Kerr. I am 19 years old and I currently live in Sydney to study at the National Art School. I discovered art basically when I could breathe. I could draw before I could speak, apparently, and it's just something I've always done. When I got into high school, I got really obsessed with this book series called Warrior Cats, and I ended up doing digital art and just drawing cats and literally nothing else for like 4 years, and it burnt me out really fast. I nearly stopped making art after that, but I decided to keep going because I went to the National Art School for a short course and it made me want to do things again. These ones are for an etching series I was going to do. This etching. So the problem with the big city is that it's this isolating feeling, but there are so many people around you. The opportunity to have connection is multiplied tenfold. There's so many people there who know your experiences and who are like you, but at the same time it is so much harder to make a connection and it feels so alone. I've just really struggled in feeling kind of squished. There's all these hundreds and hundreds of people around me and yet I felt so lonely. And that feeling has fueled a lot of my art making this year. So I did a video for photography where I tried to capture the feeling of being in this space that should be so comfortable, but feeling just alone.
Do you find aspects of your life, such as your sexuality, your gender, or just living in a rural town, have influenced your art?
100%. It's kind of what my art is about now. So a lot of my most recent stuff is about how we build our identity and our memory in connection to location.
So, this is the old railway bridge, or one of them. And when I was young and the bridge was still intact, my parents and I would come here with my sister and we'd walk across the bridge. But in the flood, the entire thing got washed away, and now it's just the leftovers. But it was a place that, I don't know, it meant a lot when we would come here. And now it's completely ruined. And I found out that it was completely ruined because I took my boyfriend Hugh in here on a date. And we talked about childhood and like what made us who we are. And I don't know, it was really sad to see the bridge destroyed because it just was important to me.
But also, my queerness is something that I make a lot of work about because I think it's a very fueling aspect. You know, there's a lot to say, just in terms of experiences with the way people react to me being queer. Mum is really supportive in her own little mother way, which I love. Dad, I don't think he quite understands the weight of what he says, but I know that he's not, like, dangerous. So I like talking about sexuality in my work, but also in a way that just discusses sexuality as a general thing, and also just taboo, you know? So I've done this recent series called Sock Theory, which is a series of prints that it's basically all images of feet being like pulled and grabbed and stopped from moving, and it's both about, you know, being restricted and unable to be mobile, and the taboo around both mental health and sex and sexuality, and the discomfort that people get from even discussing or thinking about fetish is something that I find powerful.
What has moving to the city allowed you to do?
It's given me an opportunity to figure out more about me and what it means to make connections, what type of connections there are in the world. I still have connections with people who I can speak to, but there's a lot of time where you can't contact people. And it would just be these periods of feeling like I can't do anything at all. And there not really being anyone in the physical space that I have who could notice that and pick me up a little bit. I think my favourite artwork that I've made about aloneness is just like taking a video of travelling on the train, you know, looking out the window at like sunset, dusk kind of time, and just this speed that you're moving, but it feels so slow. And you look out the window and there's nothing there. I think that captures loneliness as a feeling for me.
Yeah, thank you. That was really good. Thank you for sharing your story
No
with
worries.
us.
No worries at all.
Sorry, just before we wrap up, I have one more question. I want to know, to you, what is joy? And how would you represent joy through your art?
To me, yeah, it's that existence of self. Joy and the Australian bush, those two feel like they are linked. I think Canowindra as a place crafted a connection with the Australian bush that I didn't have. And I've been trying to figure out how to represent that. And I think something being whole is joy to me. Mum is really supportive. I still have connections with people who I can speak to. But I'm still working on actually making a work based on that wholeness that you feel when you're young, because I really would like to. But yeah, that's what it means to me.
Any other questions, anyone?
No, I think that covers it.
Thank you.